guys, this is Billy from AdultCello.com. Today what I want to do is a second exercise. The last week we talked about this exercise where we're building flexibility in the bow hand, fingers, and thumb, okay? So you can, right there, and a couple of my students have had a problem with this. This is one of those things where it's just so much easier once you feel it, kind of like riding a bike. Once you can get that balance, you're good to go, but until then, it can be a little tricky. So I had kind of a reverse idea to kind of build it from the other way around. So instead of focusing on pulling up the bow today, this really helped a student when I tried it this way. So let's try another way of achieving this kind of finger flexibility. We're going to take our hand off the bow, okay? Then what we're going to do is take the second finger only and put it on the metal like you would in a regular bow grip, okay? Second finger only on the metal, and then with my left hand holding the bow, I'm going to basically lift the bow so that this knuckle, this kind of crease right here, this joint, is sitting on the stick so that I could basically do this with the stick. So it's sitting right on top of it, okay? And then with the fingertip on the metal, I push down, okay? And then my left hand and my middle finger of my right hand kind of pull back up, okay? So it's kind of like this. That's what it looks like. Notice my fingers aren't swishing around, okay? So, or my finger isn't swishing around. So let me just say, what I try to imagine is that there's a dot of glue connecting my fingertip to the metal of the bow, okay? So everything else in my finger is flexible, but I don't lose my position here. Then what I would do is probably add 2 and 3, practice that kind of motion. And if you notice, again, my wrist isn't bending. I keep my wrist and my forearm pretty much stable. I'm trying to isolate just these fingers. Okay, then I add the thumb. This is where a couple of my students, this is where things got really hairy. So right now I've got kind of bunny ears with the first and fourth finger, okay? And what I found is I told them to add the thumb, and that immediately for them locked their fingers out, and then they couldn't do it anymore, even though they got this part, okay? So what I started with is, okay, let's put the thumb under the bow, the bottom of the frog, okay? So not a normal plane position. See if you can allow your fingers to kind of flex. And then if that's working, you're going to add the thumb to just on top of the metal, still not really in plane position, and see if you can get your fingers to work like that. And then I add my thumb and see if I can kind of, once you add the thumb, it's going to move a little bit less, okay? But that kind of, it teaches you this sort of feeling, be able to kind of work with the fingers and the thumb together, and then eventually you can put pinky on top like before, and then you would just be starting up here and dropping it down, okay? So it's kind of a way to, I don't know if it's reverse engineering, I don't know what you'd call it, but I was trying to basically attack the same problem from the other side. The most important thing to keep in mind with this exercise today and with last week's exercise is that while you're doing this kind of finger flexibility, whether you start from up here without the thumb like I just showed you, and you're kind of working on extending the fingers and allowing it to recoil back, or whether you're doing this last week's way, don't let the fingers swish around as you do it. So yes, if I do something like this, my bow is going up and down, but my fingers, the tips of my fingers are losing contact with their position on the frog. So that is not going to be as helpful for a flexible bow grip, okay? So give that a shot, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section below.